Firstly, on Taoiseach's statement yesterday that it is not right to connect immigration with crime is ridiculous. Not all immigrants are created equal, and an immigration policy that does not recognise this will end in disaster and tragedy. We don't record crime statistics by ethnicity, because to do so would offend liberal sensibilities, and Ireland has the largest groups of Algerian asylum seekers in the world being admitted into the country.
Well, there we go, speaking truth. And to discuss this, I'm joined by the leader of the Irish Freedom Party, Herman Kelly. Herman, welcome to the show. So the senator there speaking truth to power, saying to deny that there's a link between immigration and crime is to be in denial of reality. And yet, Leo Varadkar would have us believe precisely that, wouldn't he?
Well, Leo Varadkar, it's a bit like asking not to have a connection between Ronaldo kicking a football and goals. Is just ridiculous. Everywhere across Europe, you can see where there's an increase in unvetted male immigration into the country, there's an increase in crime. So, for example, in Sweden, a non-national, now this is according to government reports, not just small-scale kind of small-time studies, a foreign national is 2.5 times more likely to have committed rape or sexual assault in Sweden. In Germany, for example, in Lower Saxony, there was a government-sponsored study which from 2015 to 2016 found that there had been a 10% increase in serious crime, and 92% of that had been carried out by new migrants. Now, in 2022, in Ireland, there was 12 women were murdered, and 5 of those were murdered by non-Irish nationals. So that idea, this plea of Leo Varadkar to, oh, please don't connect immigration and crime, it's ridiculous. Everybody can see, everybody with their eyes open can see it plainly. And you know what? It's one of the reasons, not only the increase in crime, but it's also the cost to the exchequer, to the taxpayer, and the loss of sovereignty. People feel that, people in Ireland feel that there's a second act of colonisation taking place. They haven't been asked, they weren't asked, they never give their consent. And you know what? They feel, what the hell's going on? This used to be Ireland 20 years ago. And now in many towns in the west of Ireland, Irish people are becoming a minority.
Now, of course, Herman, Leo Varadkar and the Liberals would say, well, it is Ireland's duty to offer safe refuge from those fleeing war and persecution.
That is the big lie, because if you look at the social security numbers, what in Ireland we call the PPS numbers, the vast majority of people come in not as refugees or asylum seekers. The vast majority of people come into Ireland through EU open borders and free movement. Now, 2 years ago, there was a beautiful girl murdered in Athlone, right in the centre of Ireland. She was murdered by Joseph Puska, who was convicted of murder. He was a Slovak Roma. He came into Ireland 10 years ago because of EU open borders. He never worked a single day in his life. His family were given a split new 4-bedroom house in the middle of Tullamore. And how did he thank the Irish people? He killed this beautiful teacher, beautiful girl who was out for a run along the canal in the middle of the day. It shocked the country. But you know what? There's been quite a number of cases just like that. There was another case. Actually, there's so many of these serious sexual assaults and murders that they're now terrible, heinous crimes being passed unremarked. I saw when I was researching about the Joseph Puska case, I saw that another Slovak there 2 years ago, a 53-year-old man had raped and sexually assaulted numerous times a 7-year-old girl in Wexford. And what else did we find out? That he had murdered someone else previously in Slovakia and was able to come into Ireland without any checks whatsoever. But there has been a very large increase, it is true, in asylum seekers, between 13 and 20,000 per year now. And also we have over 100,000 Ukrainians. So that's a huge cost to the taxpayer. But the main thing is that the cost to our security and sense of safety and of community and of nationhood, which is very important.
OK, we have to leave it there. Herman Kelly, that's the leader of the Irish Freedom Party. And, of course, let's be pointed out, the vast majority of immigrants come into the country are not criminals and do not commit such heinous crimes. But thank you for joining us on the show.